Who has a better elbow pull than Stevan Micic? Micic hits this elbow pull high crotch on everyone in the world. In this week's Technique Tuesday, we're breaking down the signature attack from world champion Stevan Micic, the pride of Serbia and the Michigan Wolverine. If you were looking for a slick takedown that works in folk style and freestyle you can add to your arsenal, watch closely.
All right, so now I know we talked about elbow control, knee pull single. We're gonna move into my other side elbow control with my high crotch, head outside. So being able to be alternate, being able to be versatile and alternating sides, I think is crucial with an elbow control because they're both great controls to have on either side. It's not really the same deal as like having an inside tie or even a collar tying with other hands because it's kind of an ambidextrous tie, right? So it's just knowing what shots I can take to do that, okay? So same exact position as I'm getting my elbow here, I'm gonna go on this side. So here, he's got me in this position. I want to make sure, if anything, I'm pushing this forearm to the outside. This is going to be better for me if I can keep my elbow here, and pull this in tight. Shoulders beat. Okay. So now the one crucial thing is, okay, the difference of how I want to pull this though on the high crotch is a little bit different because when I pull my knee pull side, I'm kind of stepping out and all I'm doing is just pulling it upwards, which is very simple. But this one, because it's a high crotch, pulling up is great. You want to do that, but you got to remember your head clearance is different. I have to get my head through this spot of his armpit to get to this leg, so I need a bigger hole. So what I do for that to create a little bit more of a motion and a drop is I drop my head down. So all I'm doing in this position is I'm dropping my head down. Okay, it's kind of a weird feeling, you guys, like because whenever I teach this, everyone wants to try to like move their body down. But it's kind of like, I want to like remember that my upper body's the same and my head just kind of goes limp. My neck just goes limp and drops. My chin touches my chest. So I get this elbow in tight. My head just drops down here. Now, when it's time to go to pull, all I'm doing is dropping and I'm going to knee slide in, okay? I'm not going to do a penetration step. I'm going to knee slide in, but my head goes right back up to his armpit. Boom. I'm whipping my head backwards. And that allows for a giant pull, okay? Think about sliding in on a skateboard. You have a rope and you're on your knees on a skateboard. I'm pulling myself and sliding in, okay? It's a halfway meeting mark. It's not just me going all the way in. If I do a back step inside control high crotch, I have to do all of the motion to step him in. But for this one, I'm doing half of it's the pull and drop, and the other half is the slide, right? So he's meeting me in halfway. So here, I drop my head down. I pull him in. You see how he meets me? And his leg almost punches my chest, which is great. I'm knee sliding in. His leg punches now here. And all I'm going to do now is just rotate and fishtail my toes. I windshield wiper them away and gets that ankle. So hands deep, ankle here. Okay? Let's go fast again. So we're here. Pop this off. Drop the head down. Knee slide in. Windshield wiper. Head's in a strong position. Now, turn with my feet, and I'm an outside shelf position here to my dummy. So now I'm going to talk about some of the most common finishing options from these elbow control high crotch. I find myself in a couple of these because of the angle that I take, right? So when my high crotch is not as traditional as like a penetration high crotch. It's a knee slide. Just like we were talking about earlier about how when I drop my head and slide in, I kind of have that rock star effect where I just kind of slide in on my knees like I'm doing a guitar solo. So as I'm doing this position here, sometimes I kind of find myself in this angle. I'm not always straightforward because I kind of come in at this angle, which allows a guy to kind of hang over the top of me. And that will actually give me an Iranian out the back door finish, which I personally like the best because it allows me to be powerful. I don't have to deal with his hips and I lift him off the mat. Finishes are great when you can take his hips out of the equation because that's what a guy with really good defense needs. He needs his hips. So as soon as I pull in this position, right here, I'm kind of doing this here. I pull in high crotch. Now look, all I'm going to do is lean all my weight back this way. I'll plant my other hand on the mat, and I'll kind of pop him up right in this position, okay? Now, once I'm in this position, I want to stay teed off until I want to finish this position. So as he kind of starts to wrestle me, he's going to want to try to rotate and square up with me as much as he can. But when I pop him up here, I don't want to let that happen. All I'm going to do is kind of get height, keep my hand on the mat posted, and now all I'm going to do is rotate my head to the other side of the hips here. And it's just going to take him right to his back here. Now I'm catching that arm trick like we talked about on the single legs, right? Or I'm covering for that back points here on the chest. Okay? Sometimes you might be able to even just slip out the back door. with it here as well. I hit that high pull in here. I'm coming over the top, get between his legs, and get my 2. But on good wrestlers, they kind of make sure they try to keep heavy, they crunch their legs, and so kind of I have to work for it more, which makes it actually the easier finish for me. I liked when I switch my head over. It just takes a little bit of practice. So one more time on this one. I set it in, I pop him up. All I'm going to do is get height. I even stand up to my feet many times because it allows me to throw him off me as well as to move my head to the other side. So that is the Iranian out the back door. Also, just let me show you guys what I like to do when I get that angle, how I'm pivoting and doing an outside shelf to my double. So sometimes I find myself where I do beat the guy a lot, and I'm actually able to get a guy hits a normal sprawl on me and sprawl, and now I have to take another penetration in and pivot my feet around. So as I pivot my feet to the side here, I'm shelving my foot here as well. I'm coming up to this double leg position, and I'm finishing. The outside shelf allows me to control his hips without any pivot or swivel. I just want to be strong, and I want to make sure I hide the ankle. Hiding the ankle is so important on your high crotch finishes. I see too many times guys leave their ankles out here and allow for maybe people to dive or grab this ankle here. But if I'm pivoting and I'm making sure my head's in good position, I'm here. If a guy stays on the mat, go ahead and put your hands here. This happens a lot. A lot of times guys will try to even switch inside here and allow me to catch for a cradle here. So for me, that outside shelf is really, really important, and probably that's the most traditional finish. And the last finish we'll talk about is a crackdown, just kind of so sometimes you hit this in and a guy wants to stay sturdy, you have to just take it to the crackdown. So I'm here, I hit this in here. We're in this position, guy maybe wants to give me that chest lock and kind of squats me over. I'm gonna get him here in a chest lock. I'm going to get him in a crackdown from this chest lock position. And all I'm going to do here is making sure this shoulder is not slipped. I grab and get this elbow in tight. I always like to threaten a little bit of this roll, just to kind of make sure he's pinned. And usually they'll kind of have to let go of this if they don't want to get stacked on their back. So kind of pull your arm out here, and that'll allow me to come back down to his ankle and lift. Now I'm splitting between the middle. So yeah, those are my 3 finishes that I like. We've got outside shelf, Iranian out the back door, which I think is my favorite one from there, and then crackdown.
Thanks for watching this week's Technique Tuesday. If you want more technique, head to athletesocean.com or download the Athletes Ocean app for a full catalog of instructionals taught by our world-class instructors. Let us know in the comments what you want to learn next. Make sure to like this video and share it with your friends. Also, make sure you follow and subscribe to FloWrestling for more technique every Tuesday. See you next time.